Hi there, welcome back to Art. How to draw under 2 minutes. If you're using the gesture technique, even if you're a beginner, you can obtain a decent looking drawing in that time. So, if you want to be able to do that, follow these tips and tricks I'm gonna share with you. So make sure to stay until the end to fully take advantage of this video. While observing the movement of the pose, we draw smartly by using as few lines as possible to describe what the pose is doing, making fluid lines not more complicated than a C-curve, an S-curve, or a straight line. We focus on eliminating the unnecessary information by only focusing on describing the movement of the pose. It's important to exaggerate the movement, without breaking the pose, while also paying attention to proportions. However, while drawing gesture, it's okay to be more permissive with proportions, since we are practicing something else. But we also incorporate proportions using gesture drawing. This pose has a very nice torsion on the front side and a noticeable pinch on the back side, so we draw accordingly. It's important to maintain the flow of the pose, to connect lines in an organic manner, trying to observe the figure as a whole. In gesture drawing, the flow of the line determines the energy behind the pose. As for the legs, it's more important to draw them with fluid lines than for them to be exactly accurate. If you have to choose, in this exercise it's better to be fluid than to be perfect, but if possible, it's better to draw both accurately and fluidly. So it's fun, while drawing like this, play a little bit with proportions and exaggerating the pose movement. The line of action of this pose is a nice C-curve that goes with the motion of the arm holding the weapon. We can almost feel the swing. So we draw focusing on that movement and in the asymmetry of the body. Remember to avoid drawing contours, especially with this kind of body type. We tend to draw detail and contours because of the muscles. So it's good to practice with all kind of body to really get to fully understand gesture. For the foreshortening of the legs and hand, we again focus on the movement and we can bring a bit over from proportions and draw the general shape of it while connecting it with the movement of the pose. Also pay close attention to the balance of the pose, while observing weight distribution. It's better to observe all things at the beginning of the pose, so don't be afraid to take a few seconds before start drawing. That will allow you to have a plan and you will start drawing smartly rather than fast. Don't forget to focus on movement rather than detail. That way, while practicing this, you are incorporating this in an organic manner and making sure that each of your future drawings will have a fluid foundation. Even if you're a professional artist, it's good to practice this from time to time. It's a great way to keep your skills up. The same goes for all the bases. We should never stop practicing the bases. Another advantage of this practice is that only takes a few minutes to draw like this, so it's possible to do it anywhere and anytime. Before going forward, if you like to use references just like the ones I'm using, in the description below you will find a link where you can find more of them, and a code for a 15% discount. Okay, next one. So the secret to drawing in under 2 minutes is analyze, plan, and then execute. If you draw mindfully, you don't need a lot of time, especially while drawing gesture. This last pose is great because we can see clearly the line of action that this pose has, especially from arm to arm, and how it connects with that line from the right arm of the model to both of his legs. So this one might seem complicated, but it's actually quite easy to draw. The only tricky bit in this one is the torsion of the torso in relation with the legs. But if we focus on movement, it should be easy. Remember, don't overthink. Regarding gesture, there is a lot of things we can talk about, like line quality, proportions, and so on. But the most important thing you should focus while drawing like this is the movement of the pose, and be able to draw that in the simpler way possible. If you put your focus there first, you will be drawing under 2 minutes in no time. Also, try to describe what the pose is doing in fewer lines as possible. With time, you will be able to add more and more to the poses, especially if you study other subjects besides gesture. I recommend study proportions, structure, and anatomy. But most importantly, don't forget to enjoy drawing. In art, as in life, we can get so fixated on the destination that we forget to enjoy the journey. The more you enjoy the journey, the more you will learn, and the easier it will become to get better. So, thanks for watching and happy drawing!